COVID-19 outbreak has people across the world in jitters. With no vaccine or drug available, prevention is better than cure has never felt more accurate. This virus passes on through saliva, mucus through coughs and sneezes, which can travel up to 3 to 5 feet. What can you do to take precautions? Plenty. Do's. Avoid close contact with those who are sick. Feeling sick? Stay at home. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. Quarantine those who are sick. This is the only way to prevent others from falling ill. Regularly clean doorknobs, handles, light switches, tables and countertops with soap and water. Use a screen cleaner for your phones and laptops. Use soap, water and wash your hands for 20 seconds. When? First, after going to the loo. You'd be shocked at how many don't. Second, before eating anything. Third, after blowing your nose or coughing and sneezing. Use a sanitizer that has at least 60% alcohol. Don'ts. Avoid sharing food or drinks. Do not share face masks. If you share a bathroom with someone, regular cleaning and separate towels and hand towels are a must. Do not touch your eyes, nose or mouth when out in public. As of now, the CDC recommends face masks only to those sick in order to prevent their infection from passing on to others. Stay safe, everyone.
Jai Hind children, today we are continuing the lesson Lines and Angles.
Let us learn about angles made by a transversal with two lines. Suppose AB and CD are two lines cut by a transversal PQ at points L and M respectively. The transversal makes 8 angles with the two lines AB and CD. These angles are marked as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So in the figure, angle 1, angle 2, angle 7 and angle 8 are such angles whose none of the arms contain the segment LM. These are exterior angles. Hence the angles whose arms do not contain the segment on the transversal cut by the given lines are called exterior angles. Also, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5 and angle 6 are such angles whose one of the arms contains the segment LM. These are interior angles. Hence, the angles whose one of the arms contains the segment on the transversal cut by the given lines are called interior angles. In the on-screen figure, each pair of angles 2, 6, 1, 5, 3, 7 and 4, 8 is such that one arm of both the angles of the pair is on the same side of the transversal PQ and the other arms are directed in the same sense. These angles form pairs of corresponding angles. Hence, a pair of angles in which one arm of both the angles of the pair is on the same side of the transversal and the other arms are directed in the same sense is called a pair of corresponding angles. Let us now learn what are alternate interior and exterior angles. A pair of angles in which one arm of each of the angles is on opposite sides of the transversal and whose other arms include the segment LM is called a pair of alternate interior angles. In the figures, angle 3, angle 5 and angle 4, angle 6 form pairs of alternate interior angles. On the other hand, a pair of angles in which one arm of each of the angles is on opposite sides of the transversal and whose other arm is directed in opposite sense and does not include the segment LM is called a pair of alternate exterior angles. In the on-screen figure, angle 2, angle 8 and angle 1, angle 7 form pairs of alternate exterior angles. Let us state some results when a transversal cuts two parallel lines. The following are the results. If a transversal cuts two parallel lines, then pairs of corresponding angles are equal, pairs of alternate angles are equal, the sum of interior angles or exterior angles on the same side of the transversal is equal to 180 degree. But these results hold good only if the lines are parallel. In case we measure the pairs of corresponding angles, like in the figure on screen, we shall see that they are not equal. The pairs of alternate angles 3, 5, 4, 6, 2, 8 and 1, 7 are also unequal. Similarly, the sum of interior or exterior angles on the same side of the transversal 4 and 5 or 3 and 6 or 2 and 7 or 1 and 8 is not 180 degree. Thus we conclude, if a transversal cuts two lines such that any one of the following conditions is true, pairs of corresponding angles are equal, pairs of alternate angles are equal, sum of interior angles or exterior angles on the same side of the transversal is equal to 180 degree, then only the two lines are parallel.
So students, you very well understood how we are drawing a transversal for parallel lines and what are the different types of angles formed. So all this notes what I have written you want to copy in your notes. Okay, let me read this. This is the next section of your lesson. Parallel lines and a transversal. A line which intersects two or more lines at distinct points is called a transversal. All of you understood? So when we are drawing two or more lines and a third line is cutting at distinct points, that line is called a transversal. Okay. When a transversal cuts two parallel lines. Okay. So when the two lines are parallel lines, we are getting this following observations. So you see here we have the axioms. Axioms are actually they are true statements. Okay. So you just by heart the statement and understand the meaning. The first one is, if a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then each pair of corresponding angles is equal, as you saw in the video. So this axiom is called corresponding angles axiom. Now you see I have just drawn two parallel lines here and I have drawn a transversal also. Now what are the each pair of corresponding angles formed? I have shown by different colors. You see this 1 and this 2, they are corresponding angles. Now this 3 and 4, these two are corresponding angles. Okay, similarly they are this angle, this one 5 and this one 6, these are corresponding angles, and here 7 and 8, they are corresponding angles. Okay, so you have learned it clear from the introduction video that how the corresponding angles are formed. There are total 8 pairs of corresponding angles, and this axiom is corresponding angles axiom. The corresponding angles are equal in two parallel lines when it is cut by a transversal. Now come to the second statement. If a transversal intersects two lines such that is two lines are there. You don't think that they are parallel lines. They are just two lines such that a pair of corresponding angles is equal. Then the two lines are parallel to each other. So this statement is the converse of our first statement. Okay. What is our first statement? If the lines are parallel and cut by a transversal, corresponding angles are equal. And the second statement is telling if there are two lines and corresponding angles are already equal. Okay, so that is the given condition. If the corresponding angles are already equal, then what we can conclude? Then the two lines are parallel to each other. Okay, so these two statements are equally true. The converse is also true. Okay, hope you understood. So this is the way to understand corresponding angles axiom. If the corresponding angles are equal, the two lines are parallel, and if the two lines are parallel, the corresponding angles are equal. So all of you understood the meaning of these two statements. Okay, now we have one more result here. That is, if a transversal intersects two parallel lines. Okay, here I have drawn two parallel lines here, and a transversal is again cutting. Then each pair of alternate interior angles is also equal. That also you have studied in earlier classes. So here you see, here this, in this point, this angle AQR, this angle is equal to QRD, that is this angle. Okay, they are pair of alternate interior angles. Similarly, this angle, that is BQR, is equal to CRQ. Okay, so alternately, that is on the either side of the transversal, on the either side of the transversal, interior angles are alternate interior angles. So that is also a true statement. Okay. Now dear students, we can see a video on parallel lines and how the transversal is cutting the parallel lines to form different results. So all of you watch this video very carefully. Okay. We have to learn more important results on parallel lines and a transversal. Let's see.
The lines in the same plane which do not intersect each other are called parallel lines. Okay, if the lines do not meet each other, then those lines are called as parallel lines. Let's say example. Here we have line L and here we have another line M, and you can see that line L and line M do not meet each other, do not intersect each other. Even the distance between those two lines is same. Such lines are called as parallel lines. So in this figure, line L and line M are parallel lines. Symbolically, we can write this as line L parallel line M. You can see there are two vertical lines. That is a symbol for parallel line. So you can say that line L parallel line M. What is a transversal? If a line intersects given two lines in two distinct points, then that line is called a transversal of those two lines. Let's say example. Here we have line L, here we have another line M, and you can see that both the lines are intersected by a third line X, and you can see that line X intersect line L and line M at point A and B respectively. So this line X intersect line L and M at two different points. Therefore, line X is a transversal of line L and line M. Angles made by a transversal. If a line intersect two lines at two different points, then 8 angles are formed. Let's say example, here we have line L and line M, and they are intersected by a line X. So your line X is a transversal of line L and M, and this transversal forms 4 angles with lines L and M. Let's see, here we have angle A, that is the first angle, angle B, second angle, angle C, that is third angle, angle D, fourth angle, fifth angle is E, sixth angle is F, seventh angle is G, and eighth angle is H. So total here we have 8 angles in this figure. So make a note, if any transversal intersect 2 lines at a different points, then 8 angles are formed. These angles are grouped in different pairs of angles. Let's study the pairs. What are pairs of corresponding angles? Look at the figure. In this figure, line X is transversal of line L and M. There are 8 angles in this figure. Make a note, corresponding angles are on the same side of a transversal. You can see the transversal X. To the left hand side of transversal X, there are 2 pairs of corresponding angles. Let's see, here angle A and angle E. They are on the left hand side of transversal X, and it is the first pair of corresponding angle in this figure. Now here we have more 2 angles to the left hand side of transversal X. They are angle D and angle G. And angle D and angle G is the next pair of corresponding angles. So here we saw that there are 2 pairs of corresponding angles to the left hand side of transversal X. Similarly, we have 2 more pairs of corresponding angle to the right hand side of transversal X. They are angle B and angle F is the third pair of corresponding angle, and angle C and angle H is the next pair of corresponding angles. So total we have 4 pairs of corresponding angle, 2 pairs on one side of a transversal X and 2 pairs on the other side of transversal X. And if line L and M are parallel, then corresponding angles formed in this figure will be congruent. So angle A congruent to angle E, angle D congruent angle G, angle B congruent angle F, and angle C congruent angle H. So you can see that all 4 pairs of corresponding angles are congruent. Why? Since line L and line M are parallel. Pairs of interior angles. Here we have a figure. In this figure, line X is transversal of line L and line M. There are 2 pairs of interior angles in this figure. Interior, you can see the word interior. Interior means inside. So there are 4 angles inside the parallel line L and M. They are angle D, angle C, angle F, and angle E. These 4 angles will form 2 pairs of interior angles in this figure. So here we have the first figure, first pair of interior angles, angle D and angle E. You can see that angle D and angle E are inside the parallel lines and they are on the same side of a transversal. So angle D and angle E is first pair of interior angles. Now we have more 2 angles inside this parallel line, C and F, and they are also on the same side of a transversal. So angle C and angle F is the next pair of interior angles. If line L parallel line M, then angle D plus angle E equals to 180 degree. Angle C plus angle F equals to 180 degree. It means if any transversal intersect 2 parallel lines at a different points, then the interior angles formed in this figure will be supplementary. Supplementary means sum of those 2 interior angle would be 180 degree. pairs of alternate angles. Here we have a figure. In this figure, line X is transversal of line L and M. There are 4 pairs of alternate angles. They are classified as interior alternate angles and exterior alternate angles. It means there are 2 pairs of interior alternate angles and 2 pairs of exterior alternate angles. First we will see interior alternate angles. You can see that there is one word, interior means inside. Okay, so interior alternate angles are pairs of angles which are formed inside the parallel line. Okay, you can see in this figure angle D and angle F are inside the parallel lines and it is one pair of interior alternate angles. So make a note that the angle should be inside the parallel line and they would be the cross angle. You can see angle D and angle F are cross angle. So angle D and angle F is first pair of interior alternate angles. Angle C and angle E is the another pair of interior alternate angles. You can see that those 2 angles are also inside the parallel lines and they are cross angle. So angle C and angle E is the next pair of interior alternate angles. Now we will see exterior alternate angles. You can see there is a word exterior. Exterior means outside the parallel line. And look at in this figure, there are 4 angles outside of these 2 parallel lines. They are angle A, angle B, angle G and angle H. So in this figure, angle A and angle G is one pair of exterior alternate angles. Angle B and angle H is the next pair of exterior alternate angles. So angle A and angle G are outside of those 2 parallel lines and they are cross angle. Angle B and angle H are outside the parallel line and they are cross angles. So angle A and angle G is one pair of exterior alternate angles. Angle B and angle H is the next pair of exterior alternate angles. And if line L parallel line M, then angle D congruent angle F, angle C congruent angle E, angle A congruent angle G and angle B congruent angle H. It means if a transversal intersect 2 parallel lines, then alternate angles formed by them are congruent.
Now these are the theorems discussed in your lesson. Actually we are not studying the proof here, but the statements are required for doing the problems, so that all of you understood the meaning of the theorem and you want to memorize this, and that is enough. No need of proof to study. You can read from your textbook also. Okay, so these all you want to copy in your notes, children. Yes, let me read. This is the theorem 6.2 in your lesson. The statement is, if a transversal intersects 2 parallel lines, okay, then each pair of alternate interior angles is equal. That we discussed before. When a transversal cuts 2 parallel lines, we have alternate interior angles are equal. This is the first statement. Now come to the second, theorem 6.3. If a transversal intersects 2 lines such that a pair of alternate interior angles is equal, then the 2 lines are parallel. So what is this theorem 6.3? This is the converse. Okay, converse of theorem 6.2 as we discussed in corresponding angles. So this is also converse, they are equal. Okay, so what did you understand from these 2 theorems? The first one, if a transversal intersects parallel lines, alternate interior angles are equal. And the second statement is telling, if a transversal intersects and a pair of alternate interior angles are equal, then the 2 lines are parallel. Okay, so they are true by the 2 ways. Now we are going to study about co-interior angles.
Co-interior angles. A pair of interior angles on the same side of the transversal is called a pair of co-interior angles. Here, angle 3 and 6 is a pair of co-interior angles. Angle 4 and 5 is also a pair of co-interior angles. Co-exterior angles. A pair of exterior angles on the same side of the transversal is called a pair of co-exterior angles. One pair is shown here, angle 1 and angle 8. The other pair of co-exterior angle is angle 2 and 7.
Co-interior angles are formed when any two lines are cut by a transversal, and when the co-interior angles together make a sum of 180 degrees, then the given lines are parallel. Okay. So this theorem 6.4 is telling about something about co-interior angles. As you know, co-interior angles means the consecutive interior angles formed between the two parallel lines on the same side. Okay. So what is the theorem? If a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then each pair of interior angles on the same side of the transversal is supplementary. And what do you mean by supplementary, children? The sum is 180 degrees. Okay. So this is true for all the corresponding consecutive angles formed between two lines. Okay. They are also referred to as consecutive interior angles or co-interior angles. So this angle usually we call co-interior angles. The meaning is consecutive interior angles. So when two lines are there and a transversal is cutting the two lines, then the interior angles formed on the same side are called co-interior angles, and it is always supplementary. Hope you understood. Now we are coming to the converse of the same statement, that is theorem 6.5. If a transversal intersects two lines such that a pair of interior angles on the same side of the transversal is supplementary, that is the co-interior angles are supplementary, then the two lines are parallel. Okay. So these two statements are related to each other. The converse is also true. Understood? So first statement is co-interior angles are supplementary, and the second statement is if co-interior angles are supplementary, then we can say the given two lines are parallel. Okay. So all of you should read and understand these theorems and all the statements and understand the concept very well. Okay. This is the next section of your lesson, that is lines parallel to the same line. Here we are discussing not two parallel lines if they are having more than two parallel lines. Okay. So here you see the assumption, if two lines are parallel to the same line. Okay. Here we have considered two lines parallel, that is to the same line, that is L and M are parallel. Also this L and N are parallel. That is this L is parallel to M and L is parallel to N. Okay. So two lines are parallel to the same line. Who is the same line here? L. So we have drawn M, that is parallel to L, and N also parallel to L. So what happens to these two lines M and N? That is only we are telling in this theorem. Okay. So if two lines are parallel to the same line, we can obtain the following results. That is, consider L, M and N are lines such that, so we have three lines such that L parallel to M. This first line is parallel to the second line, and L parallel to N. First line is parallel to the third line. So if this condition is true and we draw a transversal, let T be a transversal. Okay, let T, this transversal be T, and it cuts the three lines. Okay, for the three lines L, M and N, this T be a transversal. Okay, so if this condition is true, we are getting a theorem here. This is also a proved theorem, and you want to remember the statement. Lines which are parallel to the same line are parallel to each other. That is, if one line is parallel to that is, one same line is parallel to two different lines. Here L is the same line parallel to M and N. So if this condition, lines which are parallel to the same line. So here these two lines M and N are the two lines parallel to the same line L. So if this condition is true, then they are parallel to each other. That is, M is parallel to N. So this is the proved theorem. You should remember the statement here, and just for your understanding, here this angle 1, 2, 3 are marked. Okay, so when you consider this L and M, what about this 1 and 2? What are they? The two lines angles 1 and 2 are corresponding angles. So we know corresponding angles axiom. From that we learned 1 and 2 are corresponding angles between these two lines. Okay. Similarly 2 and 3. 2 and 3 are corresponding angles formed between M and N. Okay. So we can definitely say that M and N are parallel, because L and M, there are corresponding angles equal, and L and N also corresponding angles equal. So we can get the result M is parallel to N. Okay. So the meaning is lines which are parallel to the same line are parallel to each other. So this statement you want to remember for doing the problems. Okay. Yes, now we can see this problem, your first problem. If PQ parallel to RS, PQ and RS are two parallel lines parallel to each other, angle MXQ equal to 135 degrees. Here you see MXQ, M is a point in the middle, and MXQ, this angle is 135 degrees, it is given, and MYR, this is an angle equal to 40 degree given. We want to find XMY. Where is XMY, children? XMY, that is this angle we need to find out. So that is our question. So how we are finding the solution? All of you listen. So in order to find this angle XMY, what we are doing? We are doing some construction. We are doing some changes in this given figure like this. Okay, so this is the change made in the given figure. What is it? Draw a line. We have draw a line AB. You see, this is the construction. In between these two parallel lines, that is through this point M, a line AB is drawn. Can you see? AB is drawn, and this AB parallel to PQ. Understand? So draw a line AB parallel to PQ through this point M. Okay, and you know AB parallel to PQ means this PQ will be parallel to RS. Therefore, the three lines are parallel to each other. Understand? Okay, so well, we can start the solution and write all the given data. Given angle MXQ equal to 135 degree, angle MYR equal to 40 degree, and PQ parallel to RS. Okay, so PQ parallel to RS is given, and if we are constructing a line in between AB through M, then that AB is parallel to PQ means AB is parallel to RS also, by applying the previous result. What result we studied, children? Yes, lines which are parallel to the same line are parallel to each other. Okay, yes, so what is the construction? So draw a line AB parallel to the line PQ through point M. Okay, so this is the construction we are doing. That implies AB parallel to PQ and PQ parallel to RS already given. So AB parallel to RS also. Understand? So that means why we wrote this? Because we know we studied in the previous theorem lines which are parallel to the same line or parallel to each other. So this is the result. This is the theorem we are applying in this problem. Okay? Yes. So up to this all of you understood? In the given figure we just made a construction in between a line, and now we are going to see how to find this angle XMY. So before you are going to further steps, now see children, in this construction if we want to find this angle, correct? So this is our XMY. Okay, so now you see in between this line AB is there and this XMY is there. So to find XMY, you can see that this line AB divides XMY into two angles, correct? That is XMB. This is one angle, and BMY. This is the second angle. So this line AB divides this XMY into two angles. So to find this XMY, if we are finding each of these angles and we are adding, then we will get our required angle XMY. Okay, so our aim is to find out what is the value of angle XMB and angle BMY, that is these two different angles. So how we are proceeding the steps, all of you listen. First we are taking angle QXM. Okay, QXM and XMB. QXM and XMB. What are those angles, children? QXM, that is this angle, and XMB, this is this angle. Okay, half of this angle. So what is the relation between these two angles, children? Yes, on the same side of the transversal, they are formed between two parallel lines. Between two parallel lines, and this XM is a transversal now for this two parallel lines PQ and AB. So on the same side of this transversal XM, these two angles are, yes, very good, they are co-interior angles. So co-interior angles are always supplementary, we studied. Therefore that property we are applying here. Okay, so now, so this is the proof of the how we are doing angle XMB. Whenever you are writing, you want to see the figure and write. Okay, XMB plus angle QXM equal to 180 degree. You should mention the reason here. They are co-interior angles. They are always supplementary. Co-interior angles are supplementary. Understood? Yes. Now what you know, children? We know QXM. It is already given in the problem. What is the value? 135 degree. So that you are applying here. So this implies angle XMB plus 135 degrees equal to 180 degrees. That implies XMB equal to 135. You want to subtract. Bring this side, 135. So 180 minus 135, you will get 45 degrees. Okay, so you got this angle XMB means this angle you got 45 degrees. Okay, now you want to find out this second half, that is BMY. Yes? Yes, now children, you see, can you say in the next half BMY? All of you listen carefully. BMY, this angle, this lower part BMY is equal to MYR, that is this angle. Can you say? This angle is equal to this angle. Can you say they are equal? Yes, because you know AB is parallel to RS and this MY is a transversal now, and on either side of the transversal two angles are there. They are alternate interior angles, and you know a pair of alternate interior angles are equal. Okay, so that we are going to apply here. What are those angles? BMY equal to MYR. Okay, so that is the thing I have written here. BMY equal to MYR. The reason is a pair of alternate interior angles. They are equal. Okay, yes. So you know from the question itself what is the angle of, what is the value of MYR? Yes, very good. It is 40 degree. So this implies angle BMY equal to 40 degrees. Understood? So first answer we got XMB 45 degree. Now you got BMY 40 degree. Okay. So what is this? We need to find out XMY, and XMY is the total of XMB and BMY. So if you add your two answers, you will get the required angle XMY. Okay, yes. So we are doing now. Therefore, our required angle XMY equal to these two answers XMB plus BMY. XMB we got already 45 degrees. 45 degrees plus BMY is 40 degrees. So the answer is 85 degrees. Okay. So thus we got the angle XMY equal to 85 degrees. Understood? Now here comes your second question, children. If a transversal intersects two lines such that the bisectors of a pair of corresponding angles are parallel. So you want to understand the meaning, then prove that the two lines are parallel. Okay. So see the figure, you will understand. If a transversal intersects two lines, so here two lines are given, PQ and RS. Okay. So it is told they are two lines only. It is not told they are parallel. Okay. So read the question carefully. If a transversal intersects two lines, so PQ and RS are two lines such that the bisectors of a pair of corresponding angles. So that means a transversal is drawn here. What is the transversal? This AD, and this transversal, when it is cutting the two lines, we have a pair of corresponding angles. So that angle only drawn here in the point B and in the point C, corresponding angles formed, and this corresponding angles are having two bisectors. Okay, so that bisectors only drawn like a ray here, BE. So this BE is the bisector of this angle. Bisector means what? This ray divides the two angles, that angle into two equal parts. Similarly, this corresponding angle, this angle is having a ray CG, that is the bisector, which divides this angle into two equal parts. Okay, so that is given here such that the bisectors of a pair of corresponding angles. What are the bisectors here? Here the bisector is BE and here the bisector is CG, and what is given? They are parallel. These bisectors are parallel. Okay. So this bisector BE parallel to CG. Understood? So that is the given condition. Okay. You see, if a transversal, when the question is starting with if, so that if is the given condition in the question. Okay. So that is all given in the problem. So here it is a transversal there. PQ and RS are two lines there. They have each corresponding angles. That corresponding angles bisectors. Okay, they are parallel to each other. So this much is given. Now what we want to prove? What we want to find out? Then prove that the two lines are parallel. Who are the two lines, children? This PQ and RS. So these two lines we want to prove they are parallel. Okay, so our aim is to prove that PQ and RS are parallel lines. Understood? So whenever you see this type of problems, you want to first understand what is given and what we need to find out. Now you come to the solution part. What I have written, AD is the transversal that intersects two lines. Okay, this AD is the transversal that is intersecting two lines PQ and RS. At what points? B and C. So this is the first intersecting point and this is the second intersecting point respectively, B and C. Now we have taken, let the ray BE be the bisector of angle ABQ. ABQ. This angle is bisected by BE. Okay, so these two halves are equal. Then, and ray CG. This is the second ray CG. That is the bisector of angle BCS, corresponding angles. Okay, and here also it is divided into two equal parts, angles. Now also what is given? These bisectors are themselves parallel. That is also given this BE parallel to CG. So these are the given conditions, and what we want to prove, children? This given two lines are parallel. So to prove that PQ parallel to RS. Okay, so we need to prove PQ parallel to RS. So how we are proving the theorem? Let us see. Now children, you want to understand one thing. When this is the bisector, okay, then the bisector divides the total angle into two equal parts. So what is the relation of each angle and this total angle? That is, total angle is ABQ and each angle, if I am taking this angle ABE, okay, so this portion if I am taking, what is the relation of this one portion and this whole angle? Yes, it is half of this ABE. This ABE is the half of this total angle ABQ, because this BE is the bisector and it divides into two equal halves. Okay, these all things you have learned in your smaller classes also. Whenever we are telling an angle bisector, the each angle divided is half of the total angle. So that concept we are going to apply here. So that is our next step. We are proceeding like you see the figure and understand. Okay, so I am writing we have so what is angle ABE, that is one part equal to half of the total angle ABQ. Let it be our first result. Okay, so similarly angle BCG, all of you see in the figure once again, BCG, that is the one part. Okay, this angle is equal to the total angle BCS. Understood? So here also we are using the same idea. Angle BCG equal to half of angle BCS, that is total angle. Let it be the result 2. Now you see children, what we are going to do then, this BE, okay, this BE and CG are parallel. Okay, let me draw separately. This BE and CG, they are the angle bisectors and they are parallel. It is given in the question. Okay, now for this BE and CG, you see this transversal is cutting, right? They are touching. So at B and C, this transversal is touching. So if I am drawing that transversal, so that transversal is our AD. Now you see what is this angle. This angle we found out now, ABE and BCG. BCG. What are these two angles, children? Yes, very good. They are corresponding angles. Okay, so you want to understand this concept. Now we have found out already ABE and BCG. And what is the relation between this AB and BCG? Because they are two parallel lines. Okay, that is the important condition. BE parallel to CG, that is given in the question. So because they are parallel lines and a transversal AD is touching, cutting this parallel lines. So we studied already theorem, we studied corresponding angles are equal. So this ABE and BCG are equal. Okay, angle ABE equal to angle BCG because they are corresponding angles. Okay, so that only we are going to write that. So this is the step, children. B is parallel to CG given in the problem, and since AD is the transversal, angle ABE is equal to angle BCG because corresponding angles are equal. Okay, now from 1 and 2. Okay, already we found the values of ABE and BCG. So this implies, what is the value of ABE, children? Yes, it is half of angle ABQ. Okay, from this we are applying, and BCG is equal to half of angle BCS, that we already found out. Okay, now half and half are equal means what is the meaning? You can just eliminate this half on both sides. Equal quantity we can reduce. So this implies angle ABQ equal to angle BCS. Okay, so in the both sides we have reduced this half, that is half of the angle and half of the angle are equal. So we are getting angle ABQ equal to angle BCS. Now you see what is this ABQ and BCS in our figure. What is this? ABQ. ABQ means this angle. ABQ and BCS, this angle. So we found they are equal now. Okay, ABQ equal to BCS. So what is the meaning of this ABQ equal to BCS? Yes, that are this ABQ and BCS are actually two corresponding angles formed by the transversal AD between which lines? PQ and RS. And you know, when the corresponding angles are equal between two lines, then the two lines are parallel. Okay, so that is the corresponding angles axiom. Using that we can say PQ parallel to RS. Okay, so that is our last conclusion. Okay, so this we got true, ABQ equal to BCS. Hence, so they are, okay, write the steps properly. They are the corresponding angles formed by the transversal AD, okay, transversal AD with the lines PQ and RS. Understand? So with the lines PQ and RS, the transversal AD is making the corresponding angles, and we got that two angles are equal. So what is the meaning of this? This implies that two lines must be parallel. So PQ parallel to RS. How we got this? Corresponding angles axiom. By this we get our required result, PQ parallel to RS. Okay, so hope all of you understood these problems. So revise the problems again and again so that you will get the idea clearly. And you have one homework also. So go through that, complete it, and then you can see the second video. Okay children? Dear students, complete the homework from page number 103, example number 6. Thank you students.